Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the ThunderCats Jackalman from Mattel. That's right, this is the second release from the MattyCollector.com exclusive Third Earth subscription, giving us our second basic figure, but technically the fourth figure in their ThunderCats lineup if we're counting Wily Kit and Wily Cat from San Diego Comic-Con. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. As you can see, Jackalman comes in that new rectangular window box packaging that we saw Lion-O come inside. It's got that sort of Omens look to the blister, where the bottom portion has Lion-O doing sight beyond sight, and then the sword kind of comes up onto the blister bubble. It's an okay look. I kind of don't like how this sort of blocks the figure within, but at least we can see through it, so not so bad. I do love the bright red behind the figure, and it fully showcases all of the accessories as well. If we rotate this around to the backside, we are treated to some gorgeous artwork of Jackalman, and we're even given a little bio down below that of the included character. So let's go ahead and get Jackalman out of this packaging and take a closer look at the figure within. Alright, so we got our Jackalman outside of the packaging. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at him, and we'll start things off by looking at the sculpt. The sculpt on this guy is absolutely wonderful. Look at that head sculpt, first of all. I love the amount of detail that is put into that. You can see the great fur detail that is worked in, the way he's kind of got that, kind of like mangy hair going around the bottom of his mouth and around the side of his head. I love that. And actually the paint deco on this guy is really well done too. It actually does a great job of bringing out all of the great fur details that you see on this particular character. He's very photogenic. I found myself loving taking pictures of this guy. He's just really, really well done. Now, he does actually utilize some shared parts from the Masters of the Universe Classics line, which is to be expected with these, but this is one thing that is really cool. I love the way that the Horsemen always kind of find this neat way to manipulate those pre-existing bucks to make them work with what they need. This is what I'm talking about. The head, of course, is removable. It's on a ball joint, just like we've seen with the other ThunderCats and the Masters figures so far, so you can pop his head off. And this is what's really cool about this. Look, this whole upper body here, with the hair over his shoulders and everything, is a separate piece that was sculpted to match up with the way Jackalman looks. It just fits on that existing fur body. How cool is that? How well does that work? I absolutely love that and thought that that was really clever and just works so well. You can see it fits nice and snug, and before you pop it off, you can't even really tell that that's what's going on there. It just looks like part of the figure's sculpt. So really well done. Kudos to the Four Horsemen for always doing such cool stuff like that. You can see the rest of the paint deco looks really nice. We got this very cool kind of leather look to the strap there. Bright red in the center gem. We got kind of like this gray pauldron up here, which is kind of two-tone. Very nice. We got like the fur little piece over on the gauntlet here that's got some spots. A little bit of paint slop there, but not so bad. And really that's the only place where I feel like it's just a little sloppy. For the most part, this guy feels nice and sturdy, and I think the paint deco is really great. I love kind of like the little bit of dry brushing seen on the front there, where you can see a little bit of that orange and tan kind of brushed together there. It looks really, really nice and gives the fur a very cool look. Now, one thing that I did notice while I was looking over this guy, and definitely want to bring it up, I am pretty certain that the portion of the calves here, or the shins, were swapped at the factory. That definitely looks like the bones are facing the wrong way on those, and especially if you turn it around, the muscles look like they're on the wrong side. Something felt a little off about him when I was posing him around, and when I looked at it closely, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. So, bit of a bummer. That's the only thing we've got going on. Definitely something we've seen in the past with Mattel stuff, where things get swapped at the factory. You almost can't notice it at all. Like, I didn't notice it at first, but now that I see it, I can't stop looking at it. So, that's a bit of a bummer. I don't know if that's across the board, but it definitely looks that way on mine. So otherwise, really nice sculpt. I think the paint deco is great, and he's a nice looking figure. But let's go ahead and talk articulation with this guy. That head is, of course, ball jointed, so it can move all the way around, look left and right. That extra fur piece doesn't really hinder the movement at all. You can see you can still get a pretty good range of motion there. You do have ball joints at the shoulders. Again, this fur kind of gets in the way, but not too bad. The arms still go up forwards, backwards. You can swivel that bicep there, very tight bicep. You got a standard single joint at the elbow. You got swivels at the wrist, and you got those hinge joints at the wrists, which are very, very nice. You got the ab crunch articulation, so you can move the upper body. You can also swivel at the waist. You got the nice ball joints at the thigh, so legs can go out, forwards, back, swivel at the thigh. Loincloth piece is nice and soft, so it doesn't get in the way of that at all. Single joint at the knee there. You got a nice boot cut articulation, which I always appreciate. And then you got the great ankles, where the legs, the ankles can move forwards and backwards at the feet, and they can also pivot side to side. You got those great rockers there. So really nice articulation. The ThunderCats actually have better articulation than what we've seen on Masters Classics, specifically with the wrists and the ankles there. Stuff that we were only just starting to get with the Filmation figures, but I'm glad to see it worked in so nicely with these ThunderCats, so we can get some really nice poses right out the gate. So as we're getting into accessories, Jackalman here does come with a pair of interchangeable hands. Much like Lion-O, they're not a whole lot different than the hands that are already on him. So you can see he's got gripping hands, which is going to be for the weapons. And I guess these are meant to kind of be slightly more open clawed hands. But as you can see, I mean, the grip isn't much different. It's a little bit bigger. And if you want to swap those out, just give a nice tug there. The hands are just on a little peg, so then you can put the new hands in its place. So I guess I can kind of see it, you know, you got the more open hands. They can actually still hold the weapons, though. I wish they were a little bit more pronounced. Maybe like some actual open claws. That would have been pretty cool to see. But nonetheless, you do have hands that you can swap in if you want to for a little bit more of an open grip. Alright, so let's get this hand back in, and we will take it over to our accessories. We got two weapons that Jackalman can use. First of all, we've got this awesome wooden club with a little spike on it. You can see really great painted detail there. I love that because it's brown. You got some nice black wash, and actually we have a little bit of like a metallic copper around the base of the spike there. So that's pretty cool. And of course you can get that gripped in any of his hands there. They actually will all hold it. So you can get some really nice poses with them wielding that spiked club. I actually really love that accessory. The next accessory is this really cool axe. You can see the long staff with this beautiful stone axe at the top. I love the paint deco that they did here. So it looks like kind of a flat stone look at the base, but then it gets this great kind of metallic flake going on there at the actual blade portion. I thought that was really, really nicely painted. And it's a nice sturdy axe. So we can actually remove the club, and you can get some good two-handed poses with this. You can get some single-handed poses. It's just yet another really nice accessory. So love the accessories with this guy. He holds onto them very nice and tight, and they're really, really well painted. So good accessory choices with Jackalman. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Let's go ahead and take a look at that vintage Jackalman figure from LJN standing alongside this new version from Mattel, just so you can see the massive difference between these. You can see the new one from Mattel does a great job of capturing the look of the character as he appeared in the cartoon series with some really nice added details to boot. So there you go, guys. There is a look at the brand new ThunderCats Jackalman figure from Mattel. Overall, I say this is a really great entry into the line. I love the sculpt. I think he's really solid, really nicely built. Love the articulation, and even the accessories are very nicely done on this guy. One little snafu, I think, with the swapped calves there, but otherwise, he's a really solid action figure, and so far so good with the ThunderCats line. I think things are looking really great so far, and here's hoping that we will continue to get these some way, somehow. So Jackalman was the October figure, and he has since sold out on MattyCollector.com, so your best bet for picking this guy up at this point is to find somebody offering him on the secondhand market. So, happy hunting, my friends! And hey guys, did you enjoy this video? Then why not hit that like button? Feel free to leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a review. Until next time, my friends!